Okay, so we're coming to studio with a new 76.
Yeah.
The decision to move from 79 to 76, obviously a big one.
Yes.
But I think this is going to suit my family needs more.
Correct.
And I think that's the most important
That
thing.
was our discussion. Yeah.
So how do we get the family into the car? How do we travel with the family? Having 3 kids on the back seat of a 79, very uncomfortable. Having 3 kids on the back seat of a 76, a little bit more comfortable. So the idea behind the vehicle is that we kit it out for solo trips, a tent on the top with all the necessary bits to do a solo trip. And we go with the family, we take a trailer, look at the interior of this vehicle and how we're going to EX it. Everything's different. You think everything's the same, but with a facelift, they changed the roof, changed the way the handles clip into the vehicle. So a lot of new product development going to happen, and I'm excited to do that. I really am. That's the way we're going to deal with it.
Yeah. And we've looked at a long time at this. Yeah. So just so you know, this is the 2.8 auto. It's not the V8. But we followed all the other channels, the Australian guys that have kitted out the 2.8 autos. They've had great success. So now it's for us. We're going to experience it ourselves, and we'll share it with everyone else, how it goes. Much bigger tires, a lot of weight on it, plus towing that caravan.
Yeah. I think what's going to be proof in the pudding is actually running the 2.8. We've got, obviously you've got the 2.8 manual.
Yes.
This is the 2.8 auto. And you're going to see how it performs out there. And I'm looking forward to that. And it's going to be challenging, but exciting from a product development point of view. And we need to have a bit of a discussion around how we're going to kit it out, what we're going to do to the car, what we should do first, what we should do last, and the pros and cons around it. I mean, there's so many options out there. What's your thoughts?
There's plenty of thoughts going on, but what we've got to do is we've got to get it looking the part straight away. When the branding comes on, we're going to get that done. So we're going to lift it, we're going to put some bigger tires on it, different rims, probably put a 50mm lift suspension kit into it, still deciding on which one we will do. And just by the way, even though we're going to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to play around with it. How a suspension normally works, this is when you do a vehicle build, the suspension is the last thing you do so that you can get the weight right.
Okay.
But because we're in the fortunate position where we've got the stock on hand and we can play around, we're going to kit it out so it looks the part. And as we go on and add weight to the vehicle, we will change the suspension setup. So it matches the weight of the vehicle all the time, just that, like I said, it looks good all the time. So we're going to go straight away, we're going to do the tough dog suspension, we're going to do the bigger tires. We're then going to do the opposite lock bull bar on the front. We're going to do the rear bumper with fair wheel mounted to the rear. On the other side, we'll have a box to keep some stuff in. From there, then we'll start on the inside, which is the long process because that's all the electrical wiring, the battery system, so that we got the cold beverages when we hit Botswana again.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah. When we hit Zimbabwe.
We know that.
Zimbabwe in October, I think it's going to be hot, so we've got to have those cold beverages and ice in the back. So we'll get the battery system drawers. I know Ross is busy working on the interior already to put the tuckless heat covers in, but we know we're staying proof and we're safe and we're sorted there. And then from there, we carry on. But I think while we're waiting, here's my thoughts. So while we're waiting for everything to come together so it can go for the fitment, I think we'll send it in next week to get it soundproofed and then upgrade the sound system because
it's a necessity.
That's a necessity, and your daughter will stop complaining.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because the problem with these vehicles, they cost a fortune, but they come with 2 little speakers, and that's it.
Yeah, very small ones.
Like tiny speakers.
And I can vouch for that.
So we'll sort the sound out, do the soundproofing so you don't hear any of the outside wind noises, and then from there we'll grow. But remember, it's a cruiser. You never stop spending. So, front runners doing stuff for us, Bushtech's going to be doing stuff for us, Tough Dog's doing stuff, Light Force is doing stuff. There's a whole list of people that want to be involved, Tackler. So there's a list of people that want to be involved and want to help build this car and share in the benefit of this car. So that's going to be quite cool.
I'm certainly looking forward to sharing that story with you, but sharing it in a different environment where we can get into the details, we can have chats around the product, we can specifically look at the detail around the product once it gets fitted to the vehicle, and then ultimately we're going to go on these trips and we're going to test the product and then give you even more feedback.
Correct. Because that's the truth. It's about the testing of these vehicles. But it's going to be incredible. I think when it's done, it's going to be impressive.